Chip and Joanna Gaines. You've probably seen their faces smiling on magazine covers and HGTV promos, but that's just the surface. Their real story starts way before the cameras, before the Magnolia Empire, before their names became shorthand for home makeover magic. I keep coming back to their journey because it's so much more than just a TV show or a business win. At the center, it's about two regular people from Waco, Texas, deciding, almost on a whim, that they wanted something bigger for themselves. Something the world didn't hand them, but something they decided to chase anyway. And you get the sense, looking at their history, that stubbornness played just as big a role as talent or luck. They had faith, a sort of crazy determination, and they worked themselves into the ground to turn their dreams real. That grind, those moments when it would have been easier to quit, that's the part people usually skip when talking about their success. They see the silos, the TV network, the best-selling books. But there's a messier, raw version of their story that matters even more, especially now in 2026 when everyone's ready to declare they're past their prime. The truth is, their story's still unfolding, far from finished. So, let's rewind, not to the first episode of Fixer Upper, but back to the real beginning, when neither of them was famous and no production crew was following them around. Chip was the sort of kid who thrived on chaos, always turning ordinary moments into an adventure no one was asking for. After graduating from Baylor University in 1998 with a business degree, he didn't let a rundown house bum him out. He saw what it could become. That's a rare gift. Most people see broken stuff and walk by. Chip saw potential and figured out how to make something out of nothing. Joanna, on the other hand, came out of Baylor in 2000 armed with a communications degree and a deep sense of creativity shaped by her diverse background. Her mother was Korean, her dad had German and English roots. Joanna grew up quiet, gentle, with a sort of calm vision that would later define the Magnolia style. Put her in any room and she could instantly notice what was missing, what could make it feel whole. The way they met? Classic serendipity. Joanna used to walk past Chip's dad's auto shop, always noticing a photo of Chip on the wall. A mutual friend finally connected them, and Joanna has said she pretty much knew from their first date that she was going to marry him. Sometimes you just know, right? So they tied the knot on May 31st, 2003. No one looking at that couple back then would have predicted where they'd wind up. They weren't just unlikely TV stars. They were untested, scraping by, hoping to make their dreams work. Before Fixer Upper launched in 2013, they spent years underwater. Joanna has admitted that for about 4 or 5 years during the housing crisis, they genuinely didn't know if they'd survive financially. Every Friday night, they'd sit at their kitchen table, asking each other if they could keep their business afloat for another week. Just picture that. The couple who'd eventually be worth tens of millions, debating whether they would make it through the month, unsure what the next week would bring. That struggle makes their story feel earned. It's the opposite of an overnight success. It's slogging through doubt, pushing forward when nothing is guaranteed. Joanna calls it pressing through. She said they did that, kept moving through the hard times, even when the sensible move would have been to quit and get normal jobs. But they kept believing in the dream, even when all they had was faith and a stubborn refusal to stop. Then, in 2013, HGTV came calling, and everything changed. Fixer Upper turned them into celebrities almost overnight. Chip and Joanna weren't just TV hosts. They became the face of a whole design movement. People copied the colors Joanna picked, obsessed over shiplap, hunted for farmhouse sinks. Waco, Texas, which most folks couldn't pick out of a lineup before, became a destination. The Magnolia silos grew into a pilgrimage site for fans. It's pretty wild, folks coming from all over America just to see where two ordinary people built something extraordinary. But as their fame exploded, so did the criticism. Their Magnolia look got called out for being too safe, too controlled. Some questioned their values, wondered if they fit their audience. But what's remarkable is how they've handled it. Chip and Joanna are almost aggressively honest about their struggles. They talk about the moments in their marriage when things felt hopeless, the times life knocked them flat. Joanna's written in the Magnolia Journal about those dark days, how she'd be so lost that all she could do was drop to the floor and surrender. Chip, too, never puts on a perfect husband act. For their 20th anniversary, he wrote about their fights, their tough times, how sometimes they had to work hard just to stick together. He said divorce just wasn't an option, not because it was easy, but because they agreed early on that quitting wasn't in their vocabulary. He's blunt about it. Throwing in the towel doesn't even cross their minds. Their story isn't finished. It keeps unfolding, proving that the best parts sometimes come after everyone thinks the show is over. That's what makes them inspiring. They're still pressing through, still chasing the dream, still figuring it out together, and inviting the rest of us along for the ride. There's something almost healing about seeing people drop the mask and just tell the truth, especially in a world so obsessed with looking shiny and flawless. Everywhere you swipe, someone's showing off their best self. The messy parts? Locked away and forgotten. But then Chip and Joanna Gaines, sitting right at the top, with their storybook life, their eye for style, their massive following. Just lay it all out. This is tough. We struggled. We broke. But we picked each other anyway. That kind of honesty matters. Honestly, it matters a lot. Now, let's get to what's been happening lately, because the story isn't just history. It's still unfolding, and you won't want to miss it. In December 2025, Chip and Joanna did something nobody saw coming. They packed up and left Texas. Yeah, really. For anyone who's spent years following the Gaines family saga, that's almost earth-shattering. Texas is their world. Waco, especially, is the heart of everything. The farm, the silos, the tight-knit community they spent decades building, it all lives in that central Texas soil. But there'd been a quiet dream growing since their very first family ski trip to Colorado back in 2016. They fell for the mountains. Hard. Joanna put it perfectly, saying Colorado became a special place for our family. And somewhere in between ski trips and spring breaks over the last decade, a dream took root to one day carve out a place of our own. So they chased the dream. They found this old 1960s mountain property just outside Aspen in Pitkin County, Colorado. Think sprawling main house with 5,052 square feet, 2 cottages for guests, wraparound decks overlooking the river. They paid $5.5 million for it. And, true to form, Chip and Joanna rolled up their sleeves and got busy making it theirs. That's when Fixer Upper Colorado Mountain House hit TV screens on December 9, 2025. Magnolia Network and HGTV aired this 3-part special, the first Fixer Upper outside Texas. What made it really stand out? Their daughter Ella, now 19, tackled her first ever design project, revamping one of the guest cottages. There's something beautiful in seeing her step into her own creative path, especially after growing up amid sawdust and paint chips. All 5 kids got in on the action. Drake's 20 now, and little Crew's just 7. The family toured the property on camera together. Anybody who's watched Chip and Joanna around their kids knows those moments hit deep. It's more than before and after shots or perfectly placed tile. It's building a home that lasts longer than they will, a space for generations to gather. Proof they were here and loved each other fiercely. Joanna even said it. Their hope was for this mountain home to far outlast us. That kind of thinking? It's big-hearted, reaching far into the future. The kind of love that plans for grandkids and beyond. Most folks are busy thinking about what's next week, but Chip and Joanna are already planting seeds for their grandchildren's grandchildren. And just when the year couldn't get any sweeter, they gave us another reason to smile. January 2026, Baylor University, the place where both Chip and Joanna started, shaped into who they are, announced a record-breaking gift from Magnolia, their brand. The donation was so big, it came with naming rights. Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark is now official, honoring all they've built. Chip's Instagram post about the news was pure joy, completely unfiltered. He called it an honor and privilege. Really, to be honest, a lifelong dream to partner with Baylor baseball. Lifelong dream. Even after everything they've achieved, Chip still has dreams he's chasing. One of them just became real. A baseball field named after the company he built, with Joanna in the same town where nobody expected anything exceptional. Chip and Joanna's joint statement had backbone. Baylor has always been more than a university to us. It's a place that shaped who we are and continues to shape leaders who care deeply about people. Baseball, in particular, has played a meaningful role in our family for generations. It's where lessons are passed down, relationships are built, and memories are made on and off the field. Read that again slowly. That's not corporate fluff. That's heart, gratitude, and a genuine love letter to their college, to baseball, to the belief that what shapes you deserves honor and giving back. Let me pause here and talk to you directly. If you're following all this, you probably feel like you're somewhere in the middle of your own story. Maybe you've had your own fixer-upper moment, the thing that changed everything. Or maybe you're still at the starting line, wondering when it'll finally happen. Maybe you know what it's like to ride out uncertain, stressful years, asking yourself each Friday if things are going to turn out okay. What makes the Gaines story matter isn't the perfection. They've told us themselves they aren't flawless. What counts is their relentless faith in the idea that the best chapter could still be ahead. The mountain house, the baseball field, the big design challenge for their daughter. These are dreams worth holding on to, worth showing up for, worth building, even when nobody else sees it. Chip turned 51 this year. Joanna, 48, in April. Married for 23 years and counting. 5 kids, spread across every stage from growing up to stretching their wings. They've got their own network, a thriving business, a field at their alma mater. And, here's the kicker, they're still making new dreams happen. Joanna captured it best. Years ago, in an anniversary post to Chip, she wrote, "You've always had a way of taking a thought or a quiet dream I've tucked away and helped me step into it and make it a reality." That's what a real partnership looks like. 2 people who keep choosing, again and again for over 20 years, to help each other believe. Wouldn't the world be better with a little more of that? In marriage, in friendships, in how we talk to ourselves when it feels like our dreams are out of reach. And through every season, every year, every milestone, the Gaines family keeps showing us it's not too late. The mountain house can still get built. The field can still wear the name you built together. Your daughter can take a leap and surprise everyone, including herself. The quiet dream you've hidden away, it's still there. It's still waiting. If a couple from Waco, Texas, with 5 kids, a sledgehammer, and unstoppable hope, can build all this from 2 bedrooms and a handful of ideas, then honestly, what's holding the rest of us back? Absolutely nothing.